Hi, I'm Alicia. If you're here for a guided message, you're more than welcome. If you're in need of some sort of message, I'm here to give it to you. There has been some sort of movement that's been happening in your life. Some movement to take action. There's something that you're walking away from for your own sense of well-being. Some sort of foundation that you are leaving behind. This could have to do with the year to come. But there is some drastic movement that is purging through you to take action. Let's get into it. For the highest good of this collective, what does this collective need to hear at this time? All right. 6 of Cups. 10 of Cups. There's something that you have been nurturing with inside of yourself. And I think there's been this little bit of a push from this energy we've been feeling to really indulge into the things that bring you joy and happiness. There's this indulgence that needs to happen within your inner self. Taking action within your inner self. This may have to do with your intuition too. Kind of taking that leap of faith with your intuition and trusting yourself. Ooh. I have the chills. 5 of Cups has been coming up a lot. All these are like cups except for the 3 of Pentacles. So you got the 6 of Cups, 10 of Cups, 7 of Cups, and 5 of Cups. This nurturing of energy that you've been purging through, or it's been purging, it's just been purging through you. There's something that is meant to be shared with the world. Whether that means your communities, your peers, your workspace, your own space. There's some indulgence in action that needs to be taken within this that has to do with your gifts and possibly your career. This could be an overwhelming energy for you as there's like a lot of options and opportunities for you. I feel like coming forward, there's some sort of hidden opportunity coming your way. And I feel like Five of Cups, man. There has been some things that have kind of left you disappointed, or maybe fear to move forward with this action that you're trying to implement in your life. This is very much of a materialistic reading of the steps we're kind of taking in the material realm and where it's leading us. But there's been some sort of fear or disappointment or doubt within yourself that you have been facing. Kind of feels like mind games too. Maybe you've had some heavy emotions. It's kind of knocked you off your feet when it comes to your creativity and indulging in your joyous things that you like to do, or happiness, or maybe you haven't discovered that yet and you're still trying to navigate that. But I do think you are taking action in that. Five of Wands. I think there's been some sort of mental battle when it comes to maybe your creativity. Creativity and your emotions and doubt and fear. It's kind of all in one. It's not, though. Remember that. I feel like you've really picked your battles with some of the things that are laying dormant in your brain. So maybe this is like a release of some, like I said at the beginning, like some sort of release with your foundation. What is this release of this foundation? This collective. Page of Swords, the Chariot. Ooh, there's something really big coming in for you that's like aligning just for you at the perfect time. I feel as if you've gained some sort of wisdom and clarity, but maybe it feels like you haven't throughout the time that has passed. Ooh, Nine of Cups. But with this surge of action, with this surge of an energy of action, it's leading you to this opportunity. Like it's aligning you to this opportunity that is meant for you. And I almost feel like too, like I was getting this from the Seven of Cups, whatever path you take, it's still aligned with you. Maybe you have felt the need to kind of put it off, put something off because of doubt and fear. But this, I feel like I just keep getting the chills with this like full moon. I feel like it's just giving you this surge of energy to really pull through and implement the action that is kind of needing to take place. Maybe you feel like things aren't going to work out because of some of the things you can't control. I keep hearing push, but you're pushing through. But I feel like you're very strategic when it comes to you putting action to this. This, I hope you use your discernment, because this is going to look different for many different people. But I really feel like you're taking your power back and pushing through with this action, but with strategy and knowledge. Yes. Birds can be significant. There's a pathway that's opening up for you. There's some sort of path that's opening up for you when you take this action. But when some of the material things in the world around us that happen, I feel like maybe you can get this sense of doubt or fear, or just this sense of not wanting to put in action to whatever you're truly trying to strive for. But I feel like you're coming out of that, the Eight of Swords. You needed to go through this for a sense of balance and harmony within some of the limiting things in your life that are that have tied you down in the past because of some of the mental conflict that goes on up here. I feel like I keep getting like creative energy and then mental conflict. Creative energy, mental conflict. Ooh, Queen of Swords, the Devil on the bottom. So it's kind of up to you if you want to push through the fear and the doubt, and I feel like you already have been doing that. You have been implementing that action with some sort of lack of clarity, even though you're getting clarity, but it's almost like the mental conflict is kind of interfering with your intuition. And there's this sense of, are you gonna pick up the sword to kind of purge through? Oh, I can't show that. Just realized that. Hopefully, okay, whatever. But you're breaking the chains of what has left you feel defeated from external materialistic situations, possibly people, communities, workplace, maybe in your home. But I see you really taking your power back and really not giving in to the fear. You're really honing in on your intuition, and the Devil can represent negative energy, mental conflict, something that may be like siphoning your inner sparkle, something that could be siphoning, and maybe that's your own mind that could be siphoning this surge of power, of this action you need to be taking. Maybe you have felt your sense of worth has been maybe you feel like your sense of worth has been altered with a little bit. Also, you're choosing not to give in. You're choosing not to give in to some of the mental doubt. Period, confirmation. I feel like you've really developed an in-between when it comes to your sense of pride and sense of self-worth within yourself. I feel like you truly want to help people. You are such a kind soul. I feel like you truly want to help people, not for your sake, but for other people's sake. Your heart's that big. But there's something that you have been sharing, and I'm hearing experimenting with too. Are you experimenting with something new? I feel like you have been utilizing this energy, but not to your full extent of where you'd like to be. And I feel like you have been stepping on those stepping stones to really navigate the fruits of your labor. And what is truly meant for you, and what is meant for your divine path, your path. I think the universe wants you to utilize yourself more and dive more into this action of sharing and kind of implementing you're like implementing more light in your life because of your self-worth. I hope that makes sense. That was weird. Did you hear that? What else does this collective need to hear? Or any advice for this collective? 3 of Wands. This gives such like a freeing energy. Three of Wands, where it's almost like an unknown type of vibe, where it's like you don't know where you're going quite yet, but you do. You have a certain goal, a certain outlook, a certain path that you are taking, and you're walking on it right now. I feel like you're really standing strong in choosing it's kind of like choosing your own battles. Like with the Queen of Swords and the Devil, there's this energy of you kind of taking back your power, kind of taking back your own sense of self. And there, with that, this could be laying dormant in your mind. Mental conflict, negative thought patterns, limiting beliefs, things that kind of aren't serving you, you're kind of choosing to pick and pry at. But on the other hand, you know, like there's 2 opposing forces, you know, like you can kind of pick. Do you want to stay in this? Or do you kind of want to choose yourself? And with the Queen of Swords, there is a sense of freedom and independence. And that's what kind of the 3 of Wands is giving, some sort of the unknown. Not really knowing where you're going, but something is leading you there. And that something is you. You're leading yourself somewhere. Can I get some advice for this collective, please? Ooh, the Magician. It's time to take action. It's time to take action for yourself and to really implement your worth and your intuition and your craft, and to stand strong in this freedom that you're having right now. The unknown can be scary because there's doubts that kind of come up along the way. But there's still a choice. There's still a choice. Like I said, with these 2, there's a choice. It's kind of with light, there's always dark. With dark, there's always light. So there's a choice you can make with really implementing you and your divine path and what is rightfully yours. 10 of Pentacles, Might I add, you are very grounded. I feel like you're very grounded within your emotions, whether it seems like it or not. You are very highly tuned into your emotions and your intellect, your knowledge, and also some of the things that lay kind of in your mind that are left untouched, but you keep touching them. It's okay to touch and look at them. But also, you got to remember that you are that opposing force that you can choose which one you kind of want to go with. Because the devil, it's okay to be aware of it. And I think it's a beautiful thing to be aware of the things that lay dormant in our mind. But we don't have to pick and pry at it for so long to the point that we lose our sense of self. But I feel like you have come out and you have gained this sense of self again through some of the external material things that have been going on in your life recently. But there's something I think that you are offering to a community in the world and sharing. You're really sharing your wisdom. Like this guy. Look at him. I really like that. Ooh, Ace of Pentacles on the bottom. Ooh. So it's like an ending cycle of kind of this negative, it's kind of negative wandering. You're kind of wandering around it. And this may still be coming up for you. But also it's an ending. It's kind of like an ending to it, that you realize that there's some things that you're picking and prying at that really aren't worth your time, to the point where you're just kind of digging yourself deeper in a hole. 222 as I look. 2222 as I look, actually. But this is like some sort of beginning and ending. What are some things that you want to bring into this new year? What are some things that you want to leave in this year? What are some boundaries that you want to create for yourself? What are some things that you want to implement more in your life that is serving you? What are some things you want to let go of that aren't helping you, that you are implementing right now? The Hermit in reverse. Like I said, you found your light, you found your sense of worth. I have the chills. But you're not meant to sit here and pick and pry at all the things that you've gone through and all the things that you have healed. You're not meant to stay here forever. There's a choice that is being made. Or there's like a decision that is kind of wanting you to make a decision. But also, I feel like it's not a part of your path to stay stuck in, like, whether you like it or not, like, this ending is ending and this beginning is beginning. But I think with you stepping out of your comfort zone and getting out of this hermit mode, man, you're really bringing a new version of yourself into this world. I feel like you've looked a lot at yourself and you learned a lot about yourself. And I think it's time to kind of utilize it in the world now. I feel like you've already been trying, or you've been taking action to doing it. Just the only thing that has been holding us back, though, is the devil. Fear, doubts, the negative dialogues that are happening in our brain. What advice do you have for this collective? What other advice do you have for this collective? Oh, was that the Nine of Pentacles? Yes, and the Two of Swords. or the Queen of Pentacles, my bad. I feel like nurturing is something that you have been implementing in your life, but there's a little bit of, sometimes I think there may be resistance when it comes to nurturing ourselves. I feel like you may be the type of person to be nurturing towards others, but maybe not nurturing towards yourself or as nurturing. There's something that you're going blindly into, though. I feel like there's this heavy sense of really staying grounded. I feel like you've been, but there's this need for kind of protecting your peace and to really stay grounded within yourself during some of these hard times that you have been encountering and going through. Two of Swords, man, that has me feeling stuck. Can I get some more about the Two of Swords? That wanted to come out. The Fool. The Fool. You're kind of in this new energy from really standing tall within who you are and kind of not going back into the patterns of the doubt, the fear. And this is a cycle that's closing out, but it's also kind of like something that you're still learning, which is okay. But this beginning, I feel like this beginning offers you flexibility and endurance to advance yourself, your sense of worth. I just heard that. Or your sense of self. Like I said, like, you are very strategic. I feel like your intuition is so heightened at this time and you are very grounded. So I think you know what energies aren't serving you when they appear, whether that means to nurture yourself, to kind of be at peace with yourself. But also this Two of Swords, like, I feel like this has to do with some of the doubt that could be laying in our minds. Kind of like stepping back. It's always good to step back and to protect your peace. But again, you may be the type of person that steps back and kind of steps back for too long, where then you kind of get trapped in the mind, the mental conflict, kind of the negative energy of possibly other people's mental conflict that they could be pressing onto you. I know this is so much easier said than done, but you know, I hope you know that this sense of protecting your peace, it was meant to occur for your well-being and for others' well-being. For others' well-being, of course, as well, because you were kind of, I feel like you were maybe presented with mental conflict from maybe other communities, people or maybe a situation or family. But you still have the choice to take a few steps forward, even though you felt like you took 5 steps back. Confirmation burp. Dread. I'm hearing dread. There's an opportunity for you to expand through some of this dread of self-protection that you have been going through. And I feel like you're coming out of that devil energy and kind of that self-protecting energy and really embodying your sense of self and your sense of worth, while also not proving it to anyone except for yourself. I feel like you've really learned to not have yourself validate from you're not having yourself validate things that are external that you know are not true to your sense of self and your sense of being. Oh, that was good. I hope that makes sense to someone. But just know with this new beginning and this work that you have implemented to really work on yourself and some of the hardships that you have gone through, it has made you so much stronger and it's made you a better person. It's made like your sense of self and your sense of worth, it has made it so much stronger. And I think you're at this beginning of it, but also it just gets easier and easier throughout time. Yeah, like you're walking away, 8 of Cups. You're kind of walking away from, the things that you choose not to believe about yourself or within yourself, in your truth. You're really implementing your truth. I just love these cards. Look at them. Wait, is there any? Okay. Just look at them. All in their glory. Like, ugh. This Magician has been coming up a lot. Yeah, that's you. But you're moving out of heartbreak and kind of the things that lay in your mind, and you're choosing not to believe them, but also navigate through the emotions that you're kind of feeling with a star. Yeah, there's some sort of balance that is occurring with maybe in a dynamic you're having in the material world, in the external world, that could have been affecting you the past while. We're gonna say while, because this year has been a long year. There's been a lot that's been happening within this year. Oh, this came in reverse again. There may be an offer that you may not be taking. Maybe it's for your sense of self, or maybe it could be due to your own mental conflict. There's a part of yourself that has given up on the doubt that is laying dormant in your mind. There's a death of that occurring. There's a death of that. And the Tower. I have the chills. Yeah, that doubt, you can't bring it with you. You've already learned how to implement through it and kind of use it to catapult yourself. And to also, you've just learned so much to not rely on external validation. Truly. You've learned to have your own validation, to not listen to your own doubts and fears because of the external. Eight of Pentacles. I just feel like you're moving through water, through calmer waters. And I also feel like there's a sense of like clarity that's been going on in little increments and little sprinkles here and there. We also haven't been able to see ahead. I feel like you've been able to read energy, maybe external energy, but you can't truly see ahead. But you're choosing not to listen to the fear and doubt in your mind. And you're choosing to hone in on your truth and your intuition. Without trying to get external validation about your sense of worth. Period. Clocked it. Eight of Pentacles. Oh, you've been working so hard on this. You've been working so hard. I love this reading. Oh my gosh. All right, any last advice for this collective? Knight of Wands, Knight of Cups, and the Hangman. You fully surrendered. You've fully surrendered to the flow of the energy that's been occurring around you. And I think you've really been honing in on your emotions and kind of going with the flow with what you were feeling without trying to fix it and navigate it and maybe even heal it too. There's a certain kind of awareness that you had to come to get into the state of flow. Or maybe the universe is asking you to get into this state of flow and to surrender what is here for you. What is to surrender to what is presenting themselves. What is presenting to you during this time? And are you going to surrender it? Or if you're going to surrender it, or there's some sort of surrendering that's happening. There's some sort of dialogue that you are surrendering to. I feel like your third eye is like opening. You have a very keen sensibility. And I feel like you may have not been praised for this your whole life. You were kind of taught to kind of zip it. We don't talk like that. But there's this energy now, though, like the reason why the universe is doing this for you to cultivate this energy and bring it into existence, because it has been shut down and pushed down for so long within your life, like going all the way back to childhood. And I hear you're still learning, but also it is safe to kind of take off that protective armor you have. There's this action. This is like goes back to the beginning of the reading. There's this action that is kind of happening. Sorry, that got cut off. There is this action that you're implementing that has to do with you taking off that protective armor to really show yourself, show your truth, speak your truth. That has to do with your sense of self-worth that has been pushed down since you were a child. Hierophant on the bottom. People will listen. You have the key to more things than you can even imagine that will benefit yourself and others. It's almost like, too, it's like you can't decline this offer. Like, you have no choice but to move forward. Anything else for this collective that they need to hear? Ooh, I'm going to use my other deck. Anything else this collective needs to hear for the highest good? Ooh, okay. Okay, first of all, the devil came out again. This is a different deck, but it has like words on the bottom. It says boundaries. That's been a big thing that's been coming up. Boundaries, Page of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. Page of Swords has been coming up so much. Your vigilance and discernment is very important. Ooh, during this time, maybe that has to do with the way you speak and the way you say things. This card always reminds me that there is some sort of wisdom that you have been withholding from others. See how he's able to fly away? It's almost like you're choosing to let your wisdom stay in a cage. Because owls do represent wisdom and intuition. But there are some boundaries that you need to implement that has to do with your sense of self and your worth. And there's so much growth that has already been happening within you, using your discernment and following these little tiny pieces of your intuition that have been affecting your sense of worth. I don't know why I'm coughing all of a sudden. The whole time I wasn't, but now I am. You are receiving some sort of clarity when it comes to you speaking your truth. Maybe there's some sort of truth that you need to hear from someone or something from the external. Okay, anything else? This is my last one. Really trust yourself and believe in yourself. Believe that good outcomes are coming for you because of how beautiful of a person you are, how generous you are, how kind you are, and what you bring into people's lives. You bring so much into people's lives. There's a lot of pentacles. 6 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. Didn't I? No, we didn't. It was just cups. And the Chariot again. Something's moving towards you. Something's moving towards you when you use your voice and your truth and really surrender to your own truth, because you don't have a choice. You kind of don't have a choice. Oh, I love these cards though. Look, it's movement. You're moving through these things to implement more gifts and contentment in your life. That makes me so happy. Ew, I don't like that card on the bottom. Maybe you felt betrayed. Oh, I feel like this is showing me kind of like the stages you've gone through. You could have felt betrayed through working through your passion, which created mental conflict and communication issues. But you have obtained this new structure with kindness and nurturing, and you're finding your joy and playfulness and your wishes. Oh, the star. Your wishes granted. Just know that. With whatever situation you're going through, your wishes are being granted. This is a new beginning. Just for you. Just for you and your gifts. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed watching this and listening to this. I hope there was something that has helped you or guided you. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Much love.